Following the Hari Raya Haji public holiday, River Valley High School students are back on campus 2 days after the alleged killing of a 13-year-old boy. As early as 6:30 a.m. this morning, over a dozen school staff and security officers were at the gates to usher in students, some turning up with flowers to pay their respects to their schoolmate. More bouquets were seen outside the school. I can only imagine it's a difficult day for the student body at River Valley High School. Joining me now is founder of the Brahm Centre Angie Chew. The Brahm Centre offers science-based mindfulness programs for seniors, adults and teenagers. Welcome back to the show, Angie. What's your advice to the students and staff who have to come to terms with, what happened on Monday?
Well, the faster that their mind can accept what has happened and focus on what is going to be the way forward to help prevent such a recurrence would be very helpful. And for them to have an open conversation together with parents, teachers, and the students themselves in order to put it out there, how do they feel about what has happened, and what are some of the assumptions and even speculation that's come up in their minds to process and to resolve what they are feeling and the trauma that they have experienced. So we're not talking about speculation, in terms of just having a good gossip, but rather to address the speculation that's going on in the mind, because that's really natural what the mind is going to do.
Right. And what are the other learning points from the River Valley case when it comes to the long-term mental well-being of students?
I think there is a very low level of understanding right now of what mental illness is all about. So if someone who has attempted suicide before, there are a lot of underlying issues that have brought about somebody to that point. For example, we've had recently two young people who had approached us for help, as we have a helpline, and they were very close to taking their own lives. And we had to activate the police to intervene. And their parents had no idea that their children were close to ending their lives. But when the police came knocking at the door, it helped them to realize that the situation is very serious. So looking out for signs is going to be helpful for us to do early intervention to help our children who may be feeling that life is not worth living, life is too painful, or just that life is too grim. The future doesn't look in any way, in form or shape to be optimistic.
And so for parents and friends, what are the warning signs to look out for? And of course, the best ways to help teenagers?
When you start to see that your child is looking to be very reclusive or very easily irritable, and they tend to overreact and get into a rage, these are signs that they are not well. And it is really important for us to reach out to them. And if we can't, to get a relative or a friend to find out what is actually going on and to get them the help that they need. And sometimes parents ourselves need the help because we may not be familiar with these distressful situations. And please reach out.
Right. Well, Angie, thank you so much for your time on the show. That was Angie Chew, founder of the Brahm Centre. Meanwhile, President Halimah Yacob wrote on Facebook today that it's hard to make sense of what happened at River Valley High School and even harder to fathom the unimaginable trauma and grief experienced. She said that some are shocked and scared while others feel helpless and confused, adding that if you're one of them, you're not alone and it's not a sign of weakness to seek help or a listening ear. Likewise, in a Facebook post today marking Racial Harmony Day, Education Minister Chan Chun Sing said religious groups have come forward to pray with the bereaved and for the well-being of the school's students. He wrote, quote, "These heartfelt gestures of solidarity transcending race and religion have brought light in our nation's hour of darkness. They embody the inherent understanding that before all else, we are fellow Singaporeans."